Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and it's great to have you with us on the channel. We do 2 Sudokus a day, and we try and include the most interesting and unusual puzzles we can. And today I've got a puzzle by Fitzy. I think we've featured Fitzy before, and Fitzy ain't easy. And this is triple threat. We should pronounce it. And it's going to completely wreck my head because it doesn't use the digits 1 to 9 and it doesn't use only one of each digit, and I will explain the rules in a moment or two. Now, don't forget that we have relaunched Cracking the Cryptic merchandise. So if you want to get yourself a hoodie or a t-shirt or a mug or something, or a cap, something like that with a CTC logo, or there are various types on, do check out the shop link under the video, and that'll take you to the new Fourth Wall website. Fourth Wall apparently a much better merch retailer than our previous one. So we stopped recommending them and we've started recommending Fourth Wall instead. And do consider that birthday present or something for the person who loves Cracking the Cryptic in your life from there. Anyway, other birthday presents you could get them include our apps, which do feature Killer Sudoku and others, including Classic Sudoku 2 and the Worms. But there's also, of course, Patreon, where for $2 or $3 a month you can get a Sudoku hunt each month, crossword videos, multiple connections and gridogram videos, and these are all in addition to the 2 puzzles a day that we do on the channel, along with Minute Cryptic and the Friday masterclasses and Wordle in a minute too. So bringing you loads of puzzle content all day, every day, and we're going to have a look at Triple Threat by Fitzy now. Fitzy's spelt with a 7, so maybe he's Fit70. Anyway, let's read the rules. Now, the rules are not normal Sudoku rules. We have to fill the grid with the digits 1 to 7 such that every row and column contains exactly 3 3s and 1 of every other digit. So 3 3s, a 1, a 2, a 4, a 5, a 6 and a 7 in every row and column. Fill each box with up to 3 unique digits. So no box can have 4 different digits in. That's weird, isn't it? Excluding 3s, digits in a cage sum to the given total. 3s do not contribute to the cage sum. Digits may repeat within a cage. So the digits in this cage that aren't 3s add up to 8. Wow, I mean, this is going to drive us round the bend. You can look straight away at the video length and it will be a long one for me. I know that, I'm sure. Anyway, let's cross our fingers. Let's get cracking. We're going to have to be very careful here. So this cage has a 1 total. That is going to contain a 1, therefore, which is a counting digit, and a 3, which is a non-counting digit. I mean, my normal pencil marking systems may be utterly useless in this puzzle. But I'm going to mark that as 1 and 3 in the center to indicate, hopefully to myself, that those 2 cells contain a 1 and a 3. I mean, it is immediately worth considering that those 2 values are 2 of the up to 3 values or 3 digits that can go in this box. That is such an odd rule. A 3 cage. Right. A 3 cage in 3 cells. I was going to say all the digits have to be different. That's nonsense. But I think they will turn out to be different, because how are we going to add up to 3? Remembering that we can't count 3s as anything. So we're going to have a 1 and a 2 in this cage, and the other digit will be a 3. So they are 3 different digits. And now we know that this box, I hope I didn't call this a cage a moment ago, I might have done, but anyway, this box contains only digits 1, 2 and 3. because they already definitely appear in this box, and it's not allowed to have more than 3 unique digits. I tell you what's incredible about this rule set is it's so short, and yet it's so weird. I mean, it's a brilliant idea for a puzzle. It's just, I mean, we've done something a bit like it before, but not for ages. Anyway, right. I think now the only types of counting digit we can have in these cells, let's reduce them. These Pinkel cells here are 1s and 2s, because they're the only types of counting digit that exist in this box. So the maximum, yeah, you can only have 1, 1 or 2 in each column. So the maximum that these can add up to is 3. The maximum these can add up to is 3. These digits are both at least a 5. And we're selecting from 5, 6 and 7. And they have to be different, because in the row you can't have 2 of the same non-3 digit. Okay, what does this mean? Because these can't be 1, 2 and 1, 2. That would be too many 1s and 2s in the box. 1s and 2s, because they can't repeat more than once in a row or column, you can only get a maximum of 3 1s and 2s in the box. Oh, there is definitely a 1 at play in that cage, and a 1 in that cage. Those are going to use the 2 1s for columns 7 and 8. There is a 1 in column 9, and it's going to have to be in box 3. There's no limit, by the way, in the rules on the number of 3s in each box. It's not just 3 necessarily. Although, on the other hand, we do know there are 3 3s in every row of the puzzle, so there are 27 3s in the grid. So if each box had a fair allocation of 3s, there would be exactly 3 in each box. Can a box exist? Right, here's a general question. Can a box exist without any 3s in it in this puzzle? Then it can only have 3 of each other digit, or 3 of each digit that appears in it. Yeah, and we know that they can be disposed. So I'm sort of thinking about this box. Could it be, say, 5, 6 and 7? I mean, if one of the digits appeared in those cells, and one appeared in those cells, and one appeared like that, none would repeat in any row or column. And there are sort of 4 setups like that, each with a diagonal slash of 1 digit in it, because we've seen that before. I don't know. Yes, okay. A box can exist with no 3s in it, and then those extra 3 3s that didn't appear in that box will have to be distributed somewhere else in the puzzle. That's mad. Okay. But I can't rule out that possibility. I want to, but I can't. I mean, my suspicion at this point is that the puzzle will have 3 3s in every box, but it is not specified in the rules. Now, since these cells can't have, they must both have a counting cell in. What do I mean by that? I mean that since you can't put 8 in either of these cells because it's not a digit in the puzzle, neither of these could be a double 3, i.e. a double 0. So they must, this one's counting digit is a 2 because it's not getting a 1 in it. And only 1s and 2s are allowed as counting digits in this box. Right. There is a 2 there. This digit is a 6. There's our first digit in the puzzle after just 6 minutes. Now, what did these two have to add up to? It was, I don't know, I didn't do that. If this is a 5, then this is a 1-2 pair. We've had 2 2s in this 2x2, and that must be the other 2 in the box in that case. With a 1-2 pair here, this wouldn't be 1, that would be 1. Oh, yeah, no. There's no 1 in this. Hang on. Okay, I've done something wrong. Yeah, have I? Something's gone wrong. I've failed to understand something, because by my claims that I've been making so far, this cage, yeah, it was pencil marking 1s up here. That was wrong. That was wrong. So we'll recant on the getting a first digit within 6 minutes. Why is that wrong? Because the 1s in, yes, we have used up the 1s in columns 7 and 8, and that's normal enough. But that only means that these cells don't contain a 1. We can put the column 1, 9 into one of these other boxes. Right, I should have started with this cage. What is the counting digit in these, let's get rid of that colour, in these 2 coloured cells? It is not a 1, because we've used the 1s for these 2 columns. The rules say every row and column contains exactly 1 of every non-3 digit. And that means that these cells can't contain a 1, because the 1s for columns 7 and 8 have already been used. But they must contain a counting digit, because that can't be an 8. The counting digits in this box are only allowed to be 1, 2, and 3. So there is a counting 2 in this cage. And the other digit in those cells is a non-counting 3, because we can't afford a 1 and we can't have a second 2 in the column. Now that digit is not a 2. This digit is the 6, not the one I put here. Now, how are we going to get away with this not being a 6, which it can't be? We're going to say that, well, I don't know if there's a counting 2 in this domino, but I do know that needs to be a counting odd digit, and that can only be a 1. So there is a counting 1 here, and that is the 1 for column 9. And of course, this box is not going to get any 1s in it now, because we've used the 1s for column 9, somewhere here for column 7 or 8, and somewhere here for column 7 or 8. This is so strange, this puzzle. Now there could be a 2 in this cage as well, a third 2 for the box, that's fine. And then this will be a 5, or there might be a 3 in this cage, and that will be a 7. Wow, okay. Now, in this box, we've had a counting 1 and a 2 there, a counting 2 there, and a counting 1 there. We can't have any more 1s in the box, right? So now we know there is a box. In fact, we can't have any more 1s in this box. And now the minimum number of 3s in this box is 5. And the minimum number of 3s in this box is 4. Because of the counting digits, we can only have 2 1s and maybe up to 3 2s. And that's quite interesting, because now if we're deviating from the idea of there being 3 3s in every box, and we definitely are, then there must be a box with fewer than the average number of 3s in, because these boxes have both got more than the average number of 3s in. And I'm looking at box 3, but it doesn't have to be that one. Well, it does. I'm just wondering, does box 3 have to have no 3s in? What I've just said is really important. The minimum number of 3s in box 6 is 4, because we can only have 2 1s and a maximum of 3 2s. And there are 4 other digits to fill and only a third unique digit to put in the box. So there's a minimum number of 4 threes there. In this box, you can have 1 once only. You can have something I'm going to call X, another counting digit, 3 times, and the minimum number of threes is 5. Well, I know the exact number of threes in these 3 columns. It's 9. And we know there's a minimum 4 threes there and 5 threes here. So that must be exactly how many there are. So there is a digit that repeats, I'm calling it X. It repeats 3 times in this box. Therefore, it appears once in each row of the 3 by 3 and once in each column. And that is the one where it appears in the bottom row. And that yellow digit, which is a counting digit, not a 3, appears twice in this 2 by 2. These 2 digits are 3s. They're 2 of the 5 3s in this box. In this box, we're going to have 3 2s and 2 1s, and only therefore 4 3s. So we've had a 2 in column 1 in one of those cells and in column 2. We need a 2 in column 3. I'm so tempted to put it in that cage, but I don't have that information yet, and therefore this digit's not resolved yet. This is going to have to be a 3 because it can't be a 2. In fact, this pair is a 1-2 pair. No. It's got a 2 in it, but it doesn't necessarily have a 1. No. Right, 3 is a non-counting digit. Let's make them grey or something. Now, this 14 cage, we're only allowed, well, we are definitely in this box having all counting digits because we've used up all the 3s for the columns in boxes 6 and 9. So these are all counting digits. So these digits will all contribute to the sum of 14. Does there have to be a repeat? This digit must appear in one of those 2 cells because it must appear in this run of 3. In fact, there's a 6 in one of those 2. There's a 6 in one of those 2. I am colouring this box now. Let's go, I can't remember what colours I was using. Let's do green, blue, orange. No, let's not do it that way round. Let's do it this way round. So the 6 is blue. Now, I can't colour anything else. Okay, let's think about what's in the 14 cage. Because if it was a 7, if that was a 7, which was counting in this cage, you can't have 2 7s and a 3 here. We've also got that cell which might count. Oh, that's confusing. Oh, I'll tell you what we know that aren't in this box, and that's a 1 or a 2. Because the 1s have all been used up. All 3 1s have got used up down here for the columns, and all 3 2s in this box. So, the counting digits here are all from 4, 5, 6 or 7. Everything in this box is from 4, 5, 6 or 7. No, are those repeats? They're allowed to be repeats within a cage. There's no problem with that. Oh, hang on. Of course they're repeats. Because if these were different digits, the minimum sum is 4, 5, 6, which equals 15, which is too many for the cage. So these 2 are repeats. Now I might be able to colour the whole cage. That sees orange and green and is blue. That's blue. That's orange. That's green. Colour the whole box, not the whole cage, sorry. Now, blues are 6s. These cells are non-sexist. And this repeat digit, could it be a 5? Yes, annoyingly yes. It couldn't be a 7 because that would add up to 14 with another counting digit to come. So orange is not a 7. This green, we know that's not a 4. Now, this could be 2 4s with a 5 here. And that a 1. Actually, I don't think it can be 2 5s because this would have to be a 7. It's green. And that would be too high. So orange is 4, green is 5, and this digit is a 1 to make up the cage total. This is a crazy puzzle. Right, now we do need a 1 and a 2 in that box. Now we've got a little 2 by 2 X there, and this digit can't be a 2, and this is where the 2 goes in the 3 cage. This digit is a 3. In this column, we've had a 1 and a 2. This digit down here in yellow is now a 7. And there are 2 7s in this little X here. God, this puzzle's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. We've had a 1 in this row, so that digit is a 2. Now we've had a 2 in the row, and this digit is a 3. And let's get rid of those colours. Or maybe we'll make the 2 pink. I don't really know why I'm colouring, but... Oh, well, look, that becomes a 3 because we've had a 1 in the row. That 1 we've now had in the column. Look at this. All sorts of digits going in here. 1s can be red. These 3s are always grey. And now down here, we've got 2 7s and 2 3s is what we've got. This digit in the 7 cage either counts as all 7, making those 2 3s, or it counts as 0 if it's a 3. Oh, what about this 10 cage, which can't use 6, 5 or 4 in its sum, and it can only use 1, 2 and 7, and it can only use them once each, so it must use all of those. And this group of 4 cells is 1, 2, 7, and one of the 3s in the row, and the other 2 3s in the row go here. And that's 3 in the corner. It's not a surprise that we've had a 3 in the corner. It would have been very surprising in this puzzle if we had none. We might still get a second one down here because of the ability of 3s to repeat themselves. Now, that was interesting. 1, 2, 3 and 7 as a group here. This digit is a 1. So we've had, this box is doing the same sort of job that box did. It's only got a single 1 in. So although it can have another counting digit that appears 3 times, which won't be a 1 or a 2, the remaining 5 digits must all then be 3s, because no other counting digit can appear in this box, given the rule about each box has up to 3 unique digits. Now there are going to be 5 3s minimally in this box, plus 4 3s there. That's all 9 3s for rows 4, 5 and 6. And these are all counting digits. Because the 9 3s for these 3 rows have got used up between these boxes. So there is a digit that repeats 3 times in this. I said that, I think. And it's not 1, 2 or 3. It doesn't mean this is a counting digit, because there is also the digit that repeats 3 times is either in those cells or in those or in those. There's still loads of possibilities. That's incredibly annoying. Right, what doesn't happen in these cells is 4, 5 or 6. So what's in this 10 cage? No 4, 5 or 6 in these cells. I wanted to say the maximum sum of those is 3. That's not true. I mean, there could be a 7 in them. What about this? Right. This cage, let's imagine it was made up of 2 counting digits. The 3 digits in this box are selected from 1, 2, 3, 7 because these are 3 different digits in row 1. So the 3 types of digit in this box are only from that group of possible candidates. So if you tried to make this up with 2 of those, it wouldn't work. There's no 2 of those digits that add up to 7. Therefore, this cage must contain a 7 and a 3. 1 counting and 1 not counting. And that means one of these 3 digits is a 7. And that's not. It also means that 3 appears in this box as a unique number. So this can't be 7, 1, 2. Because then 1, 2, 3 and 7 would all appear in the box. Illegal. So one of those is a 3 and this isn't a 3. This is accounting 1 or 2 in this box. I want to say, and that digit appears 3 times in this box, but I don't know that yet. I mean, it's possible I should, but I don't. Right, we've had a 1 in this column already. What are the 3 digits in this box? They are 7, 3, and either 1 or 2. These counting digits don't include 1 or 2. They're all from 4, 5, 6, or 7. I'm sorry, if I'm taking this too slowly for you, I apologise, but I need to think my way through this at every stage because I find this so complicated. I do think either this 10 cage or this 15 cage is really vitally important, but I don't think I understand what to do with them. None of these are 4, 5, or 6. Right, we are never going to get to the total of 10 using only 1s and 2s. I feel like this cage contains 1, 2, and 7, but I don't know. I don't think I know which of box 1 or 2 uses 4 3s and which one uses 5 3s. Might even somehow conceivably be 3 and 6 as a distribution. I don't know. We have got to have some counting digits in this 15 cage. And gosh, I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. I haven't really got an idea where to go next. Either the 10 cage or the 15 cage. And this is a repeat. This digit is probably going to repeat in its box. I don't know. Okay, what does go in the 10 cage? There's a 7 there and a 7 here, so at least 2 7s in this box. Then up here there's a 3 and there's a 3 here. And there's also a 1 or a 2 in this. I sort of want to say 7s are ruled out of this box, but I don't know. I don't feel I've got the impetus to say that. Okay, this pair either adds up to 0, in which case it's a pair of 3s, or it adds up to 7, in which case it could be 7 and 3. It can't be 1 and 6. It could be 2 and 5. Or it could be 3 and... No, it can't be 3 and 4 because 3 doesn't count. So it could be 2 and 5. in which case we know which way round it'll be from the 2 that we have sitting here, or it's a pair of 3s or a 3 and a 7. This digit is not a 1, clearly. In fact, yes, I've said this before, there is no other 1 in this box. So there is 3 of some other digit and 5 3s. Okay, I'm going to consider these 2 boxes again. How many times must a digit repeat 3 times in a box? And I think the answer is twice. And the reason I think that is because this box is going to contain up to 3 different digits. This one, which is a 1 or a 2, and 3, and one other counting cell, a 1, 2, or a 7. That means there is 1 digit from 1, 2, or 7 that this box cannot contain. So that, which must appear 3 times in the top 3 rows, must repeat 3 times in this box. Similarly, there's some digit that can't get into this box out of 1, 2, or 7, and must repeat 3 times in this box. And it must be this digit that repeats 3 times in this box, because it's the only one that's a counter that can get in that group. So this digit repeats twice more in this box and appears no times in this box. Okay, that is a solid conclusion. But it either appears there and there, or there and there. So it either appears once or twice in the 10 cage. Then there's some other digit in this box that appears once or twice. And at least there are either 3 or 4 5s. 4 or 5 3s, sorry. So if there was a repeat 1 or 2, well, one of these 2 is that digit that is a 1 or a 2. I'm trying to work out if this brings me to a big conclusion. I don't know. I just don't know. Sorry. So there is a 3-peat digit in this box. And it could well be 7. Oh, does it have... No, I don't know yet. Okay, how could there be... Is it the 15 cage then? The trouble is, this could be 771. Possible counting digits here are selected. Well, I mean, these digits are selected, like everything in boxes 1 or 2, from 1, 2, 3, and 7. And this digit could be a 3. Indeed, there has to be 1 3 in one of those cells in this row. So, what do I know about this 15 cage? I just don't feel like I know anything. Is the simple answer. We can't count any 3s. So, if we were counting digits higher than 3, I feel like we could have 2 7s and a 1. We could have 7, 6 and a 2. We can't have 7, 6 and 2 1s because there's no, we've had a 1 in one of the rows. But 7, 6, 7, 7, 1 is possible. 7, 6, 2 is possible. 6, 6, 2, 1 is not possible. We can't get 2 6s in. But then we can have 7, 5, 2, 1. Can't have 7, 4, 2, 2. 6, 4, 3, 2. There's so many possibilities. This is absolutely fruitless. This digit sees 5, 4, 6 and 1, so that is not any of those. Oh, this digit. For it to count, it's not that digit or 3, or 4, 6 or 5. Okay. Is this thought worth anything? If these didn't include a 7, the maximum they could add up to is 3, a 2 and a 1. Then these would have to add up to at least 12. And they would either be 5, 7 or 6, 7. So there must be a 7 in the cage, because if those don't have a 7, these have to. Are there 2 7s in the cage? This is a very ticklish bit of this puzzle. This is very tricky. The conclusion I didn't reach about boxes 1 and 2 that is true is that there is a shared 1 or 2 between the cages. I'm not even sure that's right. I think it is right. Between the boxes is what I'm trying to say. There must be a shared digit, a shared counting digit. Because this counting digit can only appear twice more in this box. We can't have 3 6s in the box, I feel. Well, maybe I haven't proved that. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There are definitely 3s in both boxes. In this box, there's a 3 there. There's a 3 there. None of these cells can be a 7, because that would count as 7, and then when you added this on, we'd be up to at least 11. So, none of these cells can be a 7. None of them can be 4, 5, or 6 either. So these are definitely selected from 1, 2, and 3. That's quite interesting. Now how are we going to make up the total? Well, with a 7 here, fine. We would have to have a 1 and a 2 in these cells, along with a 3. With a 6 here, we could have 2 2s. With a 6 here, we'd have to have a repeat. That would either be 2 2s and this a 3, or that would be 2 1s and this a 2. With a 5 here, we'd have to have 2 2s and a 1 in the counting digits. This can't be a 4. You can't get these up to 6 without them all being 2s. Right. In some ways, it's the 7 I want to remove so that I can prove those two are replicants. If this was a 7, this cage would contain 1, 2 and 3. Then 1 and 2 would be counting digits in the box. This couldn't be a 7. If we're basing this on if this is a 7, well then the only 7 in this cage would have to be there. And in fact that would be a set of 7s. These two would add up to 8. That is not possible. No, it's not possible. Sorry, putting a 7 in there doesn't make those two add up to 8 because this digit could be 1 or 2. It is actually not possible for these two to add up to 8 because they can't be a 7-1 or a 6-2 pair. 3-5 wouldn't count the 3. 4-4 is not allowed. So this can't be a 7-3 pair. That's quite interesting. Can't be a 3-3 pair either. Because you couldn't get to 15 from these. So in fact, no. I was going to say there is either a 7 or a 2 in these cells, and it's true, but it doesn't. They can't be 1-3 because they would have to be double 7. That's all I'm saying. They could be a 2 if this was a 7-6 pair down here. It could be just a 2 and a 3. That's quite interesting. The only way to put a 3 into this pair is with a 2. With a 1, it's not enough here. With a 7, you can never make 8 here. So the only way to put a 3 into this pair is with a 2. Otherwise, they're both counting digits, which is quite interesting, I feel. If that's a 2 and a 3, this can't be 2. That can't be 2. I don't know what that does. Look, you'd get a 7-6 pair here. That would be 5. That would be 4. And that would fail. Right. These do not have a 3 in. I have now concluded, finally. I'm going to go through it all again. If these had 2 3s in, those would have to add up to 15. Clearly not possible. If these had a 3 and a 1 in, those would have to add up to 14. That is also not possible because of the repeats rule. If these had a 3 and a 7 in, these would have to add up to 8, but they can't contain a 1 or a 2. 3s don't count, and you can't have double 4. So that's not possible. Now, what I then came up with is, what if this is a 3-2 pair, and these add up to 13 by being a 7 and 6? Well, that would make this a 5. And these cells would have to add up to 5. And that would require both of those to be 2s and that to be a 1. And this putative 2 would clash with the 2 that I'm positing in those cells. So that doesn't work either. So there is no 3 in this pair. These are counting cells. And that's interesting. Can they be a 1-2 pair? These would add up to 12. They would be a 5-7 pair. That digit would be a 6. And I'm afraid this would have to count again. Because if that's a 6, these add up to 4. And you can't get that with a 1-2 here. So this would be a counting 1 or 2, clashing with the 1 or 2 I'm positing here. No good. So one of those is a 7. That digit is now a 3, because we can't have another 7 in the row. This is now a 7. That's not 7. I was going to say or 3. I can't jump too quickly on that. This 3 stops. No, it doesn't. We can have repeated 3s everywhere. Well, in rows and columns and especially in boxes. Right, there is a 7 here. So these two either add up to 8 or 9. And this pair either adds up to 7, and I think that can only be done by being a 7 and a 3, because you can't use 1 or 2, 3s don't count. So if that's 7, 1, no, if that's 7, yeah, if that's 7, 1, these are 7, 3. If it's 7, 2, these add up to 6. And that can't use a 1 or a 2, so that would have to be a 6, 3. So there is a 3 in these, and it must be here. And this is 7 or 6. And this is 7 and either 1 or 2. This digit is not a 3, because we've had 3 3s in the row now. It's not a 7, so that's 4, 5 or 6. 7 is in these cells, therefore it repeats 3 times in these rows, because there's no counting, there's no 3s here, I mean, they're all counting digits. And therefore this is not a 7. It's a bit unlikely to be a 5, but that's a slightly different, oh, hang on. There is a digit that repeats, a counting digit that repeats 3 times in this box, because there's only 1, and we have to have 5 3s exactly. So there are 3 of some other digit, and that is this digit, and it repeats twice more in the box. Now, if it goes there, it's a bloomin' 5. But it could go there and there. Wow, I mean, this puzzle is absolutely mad. Mad as a Mad March hare in the merry, merry month of May. Right. I have not... Oh, look, I need 3 3s in this row. Can they both be here? That would be a 1-2 pair, and that would be a 7. This would be 6. And this would be 7, 2. That would be 3. I can't work that out. I can't work that out. Maybe it was available there, but I couldn't get it. That's 3 counting digits. These cells include 1 more counting digit and 2 3s. These cells include 2 3s and a counting digit. Now, I removed something from this cell. It was 2, was it? No, it was 7. That doesn't... Does it remove 3 from this cell? No, don't think so. This, no, this, no, this is a counting digit. I thought I'd seen 1. My light blue is a sort of counting digit record. I kind of feel that can't be a 7. It would be the only 7 in the box. This is definitely worth calculating. Actually, it's hugely worth calculating. If this was a 7, it would be the only 7 in the box. 7 would be shared between the 2 boxes. There'd be 1 digit in this box that would repeat 3 times. I don't know. This is so hard. This is so hard to see. Right, there's no 7s in this box because the 3 digits that can appear in this box are those 3, a 1, a 3, and this, which is not a 7. So this box has no 7s. Therefore, there are 3 7s in this box. And therefore, they appear once in each row and once in each column. And that includes this column, and that digit can't be another 7 in the same column. So this is the 7 we need in the 15 cage. And we did need a 7 in this group, and now we know that's here. And there are 3 7s here. None of these cells are 7s now. Now, we need a 1 in one of those cells, definitely. These can't be 7s anymore. They're also from 1, 2, 3. This digit is in a column with a 1. Can't be a 1. Now, I'm looking at these 4 cells and wondering if they have a story to tell me. I don't know, do they? Well, this isn't a 7 since we got the 7 at the top. This is not necessarily counting. These could still be a double 3 pair. But that would be quite interesting. If that was a 7, these are a double 3 pair. And then you have to have a 2 here. And 2, 3, and 7 would be the digits in this box. And 1 would repeat 3 times in this box. And be that digit. And this would be a 2. So this can never be a 2? Is that my claim now? If this was a 2, that would be 3. This now couldn't be 5 and would also be 3, and that would be 3. That would be all the 3s for the column. And this 2 would force that digit to be a 1. And that would force this digit to be a 2. And 2 would be the number that repeats 3 times in this box. And it couldn't, because it would then have to be in one of these 3 cells, but we were positing 2 there. So this digit is not a 2, this is a 3. I don't think that's actually going to dramatically advance us. Oh, it does a bit. It means these definitely now contain a 1 and a 2. And a 3, obviously, but what does that mean? This digit appears 2 more times here, doesn't it? Oh, and that's a 1, 2 pair. That digit's clearly a 3. That's been available forever. And it's this digit that appears twice more. We don't know whether that digit does appear in one of those cells. Except we do. Do we? No. I feel like I don't know, one of these is this reddy pink digit. At least, well, yeah, that's true. It's not necessarily true that one of them is this light blue digit. However, that does appear in these cells. This is the shared digit between the 2 boxes. Oh, this is crazy, isn't it? If these are both 3s, because that's a 7, this is a 2. I might have a problem with this being a 2. Because then 1 doesn't appear in this box. And then there's a 2 here, and that digit is a 1. And that's the digit that repeats, that three-peats in box 1. So 2 more of those are 1, and also that would make this a 2. Then neither of these could be 2. You'd have a 2 there, and neither of those could be 2. So the maximum, and indeed, well, no, the minimum that these could add up to is 1, 1 in that case. And that doesn't work with this. The maximum they could add up to is 2 1s. So I'm positing that this is a 2. Since neither of those can be 1 in this box by the rule about 3 unique digits, that's a 1. That's a 2. Now we've got 2s in these positions. None of these can be 2s. The maximum we can add these two up to is 2 1s, and the minimum is 1 1. And neither of those allow this to complete, because it can't be 8 or 9. So that is not a 2. That is another 3. Now these two can't both be 3s, because we've had 2 3s in this column, and therefore this is not a 7, which would require them both to be 3s. So this is a 3. We do need 2 more 7s in these columns, so there they are. And this digit is a 3. And this cage now needs these to be a 5-2 pair, since it can't have a 7. They're just done. Wow, okay. Now this can't have 3 repeat 5s, although it does have repeat digits. So that is a 4, 6, 7 repeating cage. Those two apparently can't both be 4s. Both of them can't be by their cages. So that's a 4. Now this has become a 5. We need another 5 in row 5. These two are both 3s. I think these two are both 3s as well, actually. Okay, bingo. We've had 3 3s in this column. This is a counting digit. It's that shade of... yes, it's different from that one. So it's that shade of counting digit, if that were a shade. Now, having had 3 3s in the boxes is no guide to anything at all. That doesn't mean anything. But 3 3s in this column means that these are all counting digits. 4, 6, and probably 2. Yes, 2 is a counting digit in this box, and now 4 and 6 are as well. So they must all be counting. That doesn't of itself mean that you can't have a 3 creeping in, I think. Although I suspect one won't, but I don't quite understand if I've proved that. Now, this column has had 4, 6, 7, 1 and 2. So these are 3, 5 and 3. This column has had 4, right, this is now 6 or 7. This digit is appearing twice more in this box. And that one might be appearing once more. I still do not know. You have to be so careful. Down here, we're definitely going to have 4 and 6. We're going to have a 3. We're not going to have a 3 as well, though. So we're going, because if you had another 3 here, that would be a 2, 1 pair, and there'd be too many different digits in this box. So this is 2, 4, 6 as well. Now 2 can't appear there. Actually, it can't appear here either. Yeah, 4 and 6 had to appear here, and 2, because they're all counting digits, and you can't have 4 different counting digits in this box. So that's a 2, 4, 6. This is a 1. That's a 1. I can recolor those as red. This is a 2. And now, these can't be 1s. This 2 is repeating twice more in this box, so that can't be a 1. Let's do that. So there are no 1s in this box. Now, these digits, there's only 2 2s maximum. If you didn't use 2 2s, this would have to be an 8. So you do use 2 2s, there they are, and this is a 6 down below. These are grey 3s, not counting. That's now a 7. Oh, my goodness. Right, coming down this column, we've got 2, 6, 4, 7. We need 1, 5 and a 3 down here. So 1, 3 and 5 are the digits that can appear in this box. 1 can't be in the bottom row because we've already had 1. We've just got this 21 cage to do. All the other cages are filled. That's crazy. I don't understand. Oh, we are going to disambiguate those by this one. I was going to say, in this box, the maximum we can add up to is 6. No, one of these is going to be a 1 in this column. So that's one of the 20 we need. Now I think we're going to have to count 5 twice. If we didn't, and we only counted it once, that would be a total of 6 here. And these two would have to add up to 15, and you cannot do that. So we are counting 5 twice in this box, and they have to sit there with another 5 there. Then let's colour those. That's all the 5s in the puzzle done. So these digits are all 3s, because they can't be 1s. Not sure about this one yet. We'll come back to you. These can't be 5s. One of those is a 1. Why have I got 1? Oh, I've got a 1 in the row. Yeah, I don't know. Let's get rid of the corner marks. They're just confusing. It's not a 5. Right. This either 10. These either add up to 11 if that's a 3, or 10 if that's a 1. So one of them exactly is a 4. The other one is a 6 or a 7. That is wildly confusing to me now. Okay, I need to do something cleverer. Right, this row has got 3 3s, so that digit is a 1. I don't know if that's probably not going to help. It is, no, yeah, one of these has to be a 1 because we need a 1 for this row, and now it can't be here. So this is a 1. And now those two have to be a 4 and a 6. Well, only one of them can be a 6. That's here. Then I can fill in 6, 4, 2, 6, 4, 2, 6, 4, 2, like so. 6s are coloured blue, 4s are coloured orange, 2s are coloured pinkle. And this digit, by maths now, has to be a 4 in the 21 cage. That's going to sort out my last weird little triple. Let's do the colouring. 4s are orange, 7s are yellow, 6s are dark blue, not light blue, and we put in the last digit, and there we go. Thanks for solving my birthday puzzle. Oh, Fitzy, I was probably meant to do this on your birthday, and I can't remember when that was. I'm so sorry. I've done it now. Oh, bother. I did at one point know that was for Fitzy's birthday and when Fitzy's birthday was, but I blew it. Anyway, I've done the puzzle and I'm quite pleased with that. It's a difficult puzzle. Happy birthday, Fitzy. I hope it's good enough to have done it. It took an hour. Felt like longer. My goodness, well done if you've tried that and got through it. It's a tricky old one, isn't it? Look at the little strings of 7 and 2 threaded through the grid. Madness. Anyway, that was fun, but it was a bit taxing. I'll see you again tomorrow. Do come back for more. Bye for now.